Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to just treat it as another game of cricket. If it is against Melville tomorrow, then it'll be a special day because it's also a good friend of mine, former teammate Drew Porter's last game as well. So to be able to share my 200th with my Perth teammates, but also the Melville guys who I played a lot of cricket with and have some really good friendships there with Ports and Reedy and Sean Terry and a few others, it'll be a really special day. Fingers crossed we get on with some iffy weather being around this week, but yeah, feeling really, really excited. It's just another game of cricket though. We got finals coming up and that's the most important thing. That's where my sort of focus is really on, is about making sure I'm contributing and doing whatever I can to help Perth go as far as we can in the finals and hopefully win the flag. So that's where my attention is. Tomorrow will be nice. I'm really excited and hopefully have a few friends and family come down and help sort of Port celebrate his last game. But most importantly, prepare well and be ready for finals and ready to contribute into finals and hopefully win a flag. Yeah, well, it all started when I was 18. I moved over from Alice Springs a week before my 18th birthday. Winding back a little bit from there, in the September, sort of the term 3 and term 4 school holidays, I went and met with my mum and I went and met with Brad Thompson, who was the coach of Melville. And we spoke about playing cricket for Melville when I was going to move over later that year. And we had a few options with other clubs as well, but I was going to be moving and living with my auntie and uncle who live in Bicton, right next to Tompkins Park, and Melville was the obvious choice. They'd won the two most recent two-day flags. They were a really successful club. They had a lot of first class and even a few international players at the time. So I came over and thought, yep, I'm going to break my way into the first grade pretty quickly. I started in 4th grade. That was a sort of the way Melville did it back then. A number of guys who have gone on to play for England, Liam Dawson and James Vince, who came and played it the following years, they had to start in 4th grade as well. It's just the way we did it. I think I got 90 in that first game of 4s. A couple of catches at slip, a wicket, and Tomo, the coach, was playing 4th grade as well. So he saw that I could play, and I went up. I think I jumped straight up to 2nd grade the following week. I got picked in the 1st grade T20s that were on a Sunday. But it wasn't until March of that season, the last game, or towards the end of that season, it was the one-day final at the WACA against Claremont Nedlands that I made my 1st grade debut. It was a pretty special moment to get picked in a grand final, a day-night game at the WACA. And I think I was picked on the back of doing well in the 2020s on a Sunday. I was pretty attacking back then and just taking the game on. So I batted at 6. We fielded first. We were playing with an orange ball, sort of white clothes and an orange ball on day-nighter, which was pretty strange looking back now. I took a really good catch at 3rd man off Duncan Spencer, former Western Australia fast bowler, and a high sort of top edge. Ran into a good catch, which helped me settle down and feel part of the game, and all the boys got around me. And then batted under lights, I made 26. I remember it pretty clearly. I was the 2nd top scorer for us that day, and we ended up winning off the last ball. Our number 11, Andy Gregg, who was our wicket keeper, hit it for 4 off Tim McDonald, who was our opening bowler. So it was an incredibly special debut, and still one of my cricketing highlights, a day-night final at the WACA, first game of 1st grade. But it wasn't until the following season, nearly 12 months later, after that sort of that final in the one-day cricket, we moved into 2-day finals. We had a couple of state players come back. I was left out of the side, rightly so. I thought, okay, next season I'll hopefully start in 1s. I started in 2s, didn't get any runs really for the first half of the year. They had no reason to pick me. Got a few runs after Christmas, and then made my 2-day debut with 3 games to go in that 2006-2007 season. It would have been February, I reckon, 2007. Against Perth, and I made 84 on debut. Again, a really special day, really special innings. I think I batted 6 or 7, and I think we had a win against Perth that day. So finished the season, and ever since then I've played 1st grade. So yeah, really fond memories. I came over with big dreams as an 18-year-old. I came over with dreams of hopefully playing for Australia one day, and grade cricket being a part of that stepping stone. Obviously, I didn't reach those heights, didn't play for Australia, which I sort of had the ambition to, but I'm really proud of what I've done in the game in grade cricket, having had a few years with Middlesex, and the fact that I'm able to now coach and mentor and help a lot of young cricketers in WA and around the world, I'm really sort of excited and proud about that. So it's been an interesting journey. I've made so many friends along the way, so many memories, so many great times, so many tough times, but I wouldn't change a thing. Yeah, look, I'd just say back yourself and have fun, and your game is good enough. Something that I look back on, and during my Middlesex days, I got to get a contract with Middlesex, and I got there doing well in second team by being an attacking sort of player. I was a bit loose, but sort of sliced the ball a bit through sort of square of the wicket, but I scored a lot of runs doing it, and then I decided I needed to be something different and tried to remodel my game completely. So looking back, I would just say, just be the best version of you and trust yourself and back yourself and have fun. Try not to put yourself under so much pressure. This next innings isn't the most important innings in your life. Just go and have fun, do your best, and constantly try and learn and progress yourself as a cricketer and as a person. And it's a cliche, it's something I say to all my athletes now, but try and focus on the process, not the outcome, because that is what you can control. And that is what I believe. If you focus on the process of trying to get better, working hard, and just doing everything you can, the results will look after themselves. And yeah, just have fun. And again, as I've said previously, try and be level. Try and just understand you're going to have good days, you're going to have tough days, but that's part of the game. That's part of what a cricketer goes through. So understanding that and deeply understanding that, I think would have really helped me deal with it a bit better. So if I was advising my younger self, I'd definitely just say, have fun, back yourself, trust yourself, play with a smile on your face. Yeah, look, it's hard to single anybody out. I've played with so many amazing cricketers and made so many great friendships along the way. And if I do single people out, there'll always be some that I miss. But one person I probably should mention is my best mate, Ryan James, who we moved down to Perth together. He was from Darwin. We actually go back a long way. When I was 16, I moved up to Darwin for 6 months to play up there, and I lived with him and his mum. We became like brothers then, and we moved down to Perth together. We're both chasing our cricket careers and dreams, and we lived together for the first few years. We've been best men at each other's weddings, and I played probably my first 150 first grade games at Melville with him. I captained him for a bit, and yeah, he's someone who was a big part of my cricket. We always pushed each other, we always challenged each other, we always supported each other. So he's someone that I need to mention, and he sort of would always back me and support me and give me sort of the confidence knowing that he would be by my side. But as I say, so many fantastic cricketers. I've made so many great friendships out of the game, both here in Perth, but also my time in the UK. I'm really, really fortunate. And I think that's what people sort of, what I'm going to remember is the good times on the field, but the friendships off the field. And all my closest mates, all the guys that stood by me at my wedding, and all my closest mates beyond that are all through cricket. My life has revolved around cricket. So yeah, the thing that stands out for me is just the number of great friends I've been fortunate enough to make through the game. Yeah, look, I've never really looked too far ahead and never really looked at the milestones. There's certainly been times where I haven't enjoyed it as much. I actually played 9 years straight. I played 2 seasons in Darwin in the WA off season, then I went to England and played 7 years over there. So I played a lot of cricket, and there were moments, there were days, there were weeks where I just didn't enjoy it much, and I didn't really want to train or do anything to do with cricket. But that wasn't very common, that wasn't very often. I'm a bit of a cricket nuffy. I love the contest. And even the tough times, times when you're not scoring runs, the times when you're beating yourself up, I would try and find a positive in that, try and think that my next innings was the one, and try and be sort of as upbeat about the situation as I could, which helped me continue to want to train, continue to want to be around the boys, and also trying to enjoy other people's success. But like anyone who's played a lot of cricket, or any athlete, any successful person, there's plenty of tough times, plenty of downs, plenty of challenges. Getting these sort of milestones, these sort of accolades, I guess, are nice, but that's not what you play for. You play for your success as a team, you play for some success as a personal success, scoring hundreds or contributing to the team. But most importantly, everything you remember is the friendships and the success you have on the field as a group. So that's what I'm still chasing at 33, coming into my 200th game, still chasing a 2-day flag, which I haven't won. I've been fortunate to win and be part of some successful sides in the shorter format, 1 day in 2020, but the 2-day format is the big one that I hopefully will be celebrating in a few weeks' time. So yeah, it's not easy, it's not a straight line, it's just plenty of ups and downs and riding the roller coaster a bit, which I've gotten much better as I've gotten older. as I've gotten older and I've got the family now and other things outside of cricket, I'm running my business. Cricket isn't the most important thing for me anymore, and my results don't make or break my week like they used to when I was younger. I was pretty bad when I was younger, looking back at riding the roller coaster. If I was scoring runs, I felt like I was a good player, which meant my value as a person was high. And when I wasn't scoring runs, I'd be down on myself, felt like I wasn't a good player, and then my value as a person was low. And through my own experiences and through speaking to other experienced players, I now try and really help the younger generation understand that trying to be level and that you're a person first who plays cricket and a cricketer second, and your results don't define you as a person. Because that's something I certainly didn't realise when I was younger, and it was much, much harder back then to stay level when things weren't going well. But when they were, I was on top of the world. Obviously, you've got to enjoy your success. You've got to enjoy the good times, because as a cricketer, you don't have as many as you do challenging times. But the more level you can be, the better, and that's something I've certainly learned as I've gotten older. It's so much different now that I've got a family. When I was young and just able to do what I wanted, cricket was everything. But now that I've got a family, it does get harder to leave home on a Saturday. It's harder to leave home on a Tuesday and Thursday, and cricket does take a lot of time. Cricket is incredibly time consuming, but I do love it. I'm a cricket nuffy. I really do enjoy the challenge of trying to get better, training, trying to constantly learn and improve myself. And now that I'm a bit older, focusing less on myself, but trying to give back and help others become better. I really enjoy and get a lot of satisfaction out of that. But it is getting harder. I think my body's in as good a condition as it's ever been, and I think I'm playing some good cricket at the moment. I think I've got plenty of years left in me, but it's just a matter of being away from the family, and there's things I want to achieve outside of cricket now. There's things that I want to do now that we own a house. There's things that I want to do. Spend more time with my daughter in her younger years, and with baby number 2 coming soon. So it is very different now from when I started. When I started, it was about having lots of fun, seeing your mates every weekend, which is still the case. That's such a great thing about the game, is you get to spend the day with 10 of your mates, 10 of your close mates. So, but it is much, much harder now that I'm a bit older and got a family. Yeah, look, some personal highlights would be obviously my 2 debuts, my first grade debut in the grand final, and also my 2-day debut. In the 2-day debut, I got 84, as I've mentioned, played nicely. My first grade 100 the following season, I think I was 19, against Wanneroo at Tompkins, a really special moment. I had Drew Porter at the other end. We put on a big partnership, which might still be a record for Melville. And obviously, it's quite fitting that we're playing against Ports tomorrow in his last game and my 200th game. So, all 10 of my hundreds, 182 not out against Bayswater, Morley. One day, I think I probably was one of the best I've ever batted. I've got a couple of hundreds against Rockingham, 3 I think, all special. 150 one day, which I stepped off the plane the night before, hadn't picked up a bat for 2 weeks over Christmas, and came out and played with complete freedom. And again, that was one of my better innings. 100 in the grand final against Bayswater, Morley again, 130. Off better than a runner ball to win the game. We won the game that day, and I was player of the match in the final at the WACA. So that really stands out. Again, runs in finals are the currency. Runs in the big games are what the better players do. So I really value them. I got 60 in a losing 2-day grand final at the WACA. I think I played well there, but probably should have got more, and maybe the result would have been slightly different. So yeah, anytime you score runs, it's special. It's really, really sort of rewarding for all the work you put in. But as I've said, longer term, what I'll really remember is the team success and the finals that we've won, and the sort of the victories where we shouldn't have won, and they're the things that will really stand out more so than the personal milestones. Yeah, I still say that my debut at the WACA was one of the best games of cricket I've ever been involved in. The fact that our number 11, who was not a number 11, he normally bats 7 or 8 or 9, but Andy Gregg hit the last ball of the match for 4 to win the game against their Claremont's opening bowler, WACA bowler, premier bowler in the competition. For us to get over the line was incredibly special. I think the last pair put on 20. So yeah, that was a really, really special moment. It's all the games where you come from behind and you sort of steal victory. Last season, when I was playing for Perth against Melville, we took 6 for none to beat them, which again was an incredible. I think we took 6 wickets in 6 balls. Liam Guthrie took a hat trick. We got a couple of run-outs, and that was an amazing memory, amazing victory as well. Something that I'll probably remember for a long time against my old team. And then there's been plenty of other great moments, great victories along the way. But it's those two probably stand out above the rest as really special victories. But it's the ones where your back's against the wall, someone stands up and you find a way and you just get over the line, are the ones that really are memorable. Look, right now I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I'm really sort of thrilled to be bringing up 200 games and have been able to play this amount of cricket. As I say, I still love it. I'm a cricket nuffy. And I do have to say thank you to my wife Becca, who's been incredibly supportive. We've got a nearly 2.5-year-old, and she lets me go off on the weekends and spend the day with a bunch of guys doing something I love. So I've been very fortunate that she's been supportive and been able to let me sort of continue on this long. I still feel like I've got plenty of good years ahead of me, but at this stage, the day before my 200th game and the week before we start finals, I'm pretty comfortable that this will be my last season. We've got baby number 2 coming in a few months, and that'll be a game changer with 2 little bodies to help look after and whatever. So never say never. We'll see what happens in the off season, but yeah, I'm treating it as if these are my last few games, and then. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to continue to grow Cricket Mentor and continue to grow my brand and my business and help more young cricketers in Perth, but also around Australia and around the world. Hopefully live out their cricketing dreams, because that's why I do what I do. I chased my dream as an 18-year-old leaving Alice Springs to come to Perth. Although I didn't achieve my big goal, I've done so many great things along the way, met so many great people, got so many amazing memories that will be with me forever. And I really am passionate and want to see other young people, boys and girls, chase their dreams. And if they're good enough, they're good enough. But if not, they can know that they've given it everything, they've done their best, and they've given themselves an opportunity to live their dream, and they can be content with that. Because I know that there's things I might have done differently. Now that I'm a bit older, I might have done things slightly differently, but I'm pretty content. I'm pretty okay with where I'm at. And the fact that I didn't make it, I think allows me is my driving force to help other young cricketers. So I think that it's exciting. I'm excited for the next sort of chapter to continue to help young players. And something, because I'm playing, is I don't get to see a lot of my players play unless we play against them. I work with them in the nets, and then I don't get to see them play. I do try and watch some footage these days, but it'll be nice if I do stop playing to be able to go down and watch them every now and again. And then, go and support the Perth guys and also the Melville guys as well. Well, look, when I was 18 and first moved over to Perth, I was just so hungry to be the best I could be. I loved hitting cricket balls, and I'd be trying to sort of train or hit balls most days. Now that I'm 33, I've got a family, I've got a business, batting and hitting balls isn't the most important thing in my life. And something that's really, really important to me is that I'm mentally fresh and keen for the weekend. So, and because I work in cricket, I live cricket, I'm constantly watching it, talking about it, I want to make sure that I don't sort of get over it and sort of rock up on a Saturday and don't have that desire to do well and compete. So these days, very different. I go to Perth training twice a week. I'm the batting coach there, so I've got to split my time between my own training, but also helping the other batters in the group. So these days, it's more of maybe 2 10-minute nets, sometimes only one. Throwing lots of balls at the other players. I make sure that I'm catching because I field at slip. I'm trying to catch a lot of balls so that I feel prepared. But I'm certainly, I don't think this season I've had any extra hits. Whereas when I was younger, I'd be hitting sort of Monday, Wednesday, Friday on top of my Tuesday and Thursday training. So I know my game much better now. I understand my technique. I understand where I score my runs. And for those reasons, I've done the work in the past. I've put all the hours in the past. And now it's about sort of getting my mind right, trusting myself. And my performances are still okay. They're obviously not as good as I would like. You can always score more runs, but I certainly don't hit anywhere near as many balls as I used to. I think the key to a long career is loving it, loving the process, loving what you do. You won't have a long career if you don't really enjoy the process and you hate going to training, and like the easy thing is to just stop playing. And I think that's why most people do stop, is they lose that love for the game, and that's the number one thing. And then I think you need good support around you. You need good teammates, good sort of support at home that allows you to go and have fun and enjoy yourself and do whatever you can. So they're probably the two most important things, I think. Oh, look, we're in a really good space at the moment. We've won every game since Christmas except our semi-final, one-day semi-final against Claremont, who are an exceptional side and are going to be very hard to beat again this year. They've won the last 6 one-day flags. They were the premiers in the 2-day comp last year. They've been the best team for the last probably 10 years or so. So they're going to be really hard to beat, but we're really confident. We're playing some excellent cricket. As I said, we've won everything except that game since Christmas. We've crushed a few sides. We welcome back Wellesley, who hasn't been around much since Christmas, so that's only going to strengthen our side. And so I think we're going to be tough to beat if we show up and we get in the contest and we do what we're capable of doing. I think our best is better than most, if not everyone. So that if we can just show up and perform anywhere near our best, and our batters can fire and just take it easy and not worry about the big game, not worry about the end result, and just really sort of do what we've been doing for the last 2 months, then I think we could go all the way.